oral communication.
Good afternoon, class. Before we start our discussion, let us first have our prayer. Ian, kindly lead the prayer. Again, good afternoon, everyone. Alright, before you sit down, kindly arrange your chairs properly and pick up the pieces of paper that you can see. You may now take your seats. So, before we proceed on our next topic, let us first have our recap. What was the last lesson about? Yes, Kenneth? What was the lesson? Good. The last lesson that we had was about the types of a speech context. Any more questions about it? Do you understand the last lesson clearly? Good. Now, before proceeding into the discussion proper, let us first have a motivational activity to awaken your minds and give you a hint of what today's discussion will be. Are you ready, class? Alright, so listen carefully to my instruction. There will be two sets of ways on how to construct the words accurately. You have to choose between the two message icons, and afterwards, you have to arrange the letter or words correctly. So, upon getting the correct word, you have to give a one-word definition for the word you have formed. Okay? So, let us start now. Who wants to answer? Choose, please. Alright, arrange it and give a one-word definition. Correct. Great. Who wants to go next? Choose, please. Now, connect the syllables and give one-word definition. Intimate is correct. Who wants to answer? Choose, please. Arrange it and give a one-word definition. Formal. That's great. Who wants to go next? Choose, please. Now, you have to connect the syllables again and give a one-word definition. Frozen. That's great. Who wants to answer? Choose, please. Arrange it and give a one-word definition. Consultative. You got it. Who wants to go next? Choose, please. Alright, so connect the syllables and give a one-word definition. Speech. You got it. Who wants to answer? Choose, please. Arrange it and give a one-word definition. Communication. You got it. Now, who wants to go next? Choose, please. Connect the syllables and give a one-word definition. Language. Correct. Who wants to answer? Choose, please. Arrange it and give a one-word definition. Style. Great. Who wants to go next? Choose, please. Now, you have to connect the syllables and give a one-word definition. Vocabulary. You got it. Very good, everyone. You got all the correct answers. Now, let's have our new lesson for today. For this day, we are going to discuss speech style. But before we proceed, here are our objectives for the day. First is to be able to distinguish the different types of a speech style. Secondly, is to evaluate the appropriateness of a speech style. The third one is to relate all the important key points and ideas underlying speech style on the development of writing and speaking skills. And lastly, is to display and apply features of a speech style on different activities. Let's continue. Class, do you have any idea of what are the types of a speech style? Any idea? So, Since you still doesn't have any idea of what speech style is, I have a video presentation in here and I want you to analyze it well and watch attentively.
Speech. The faculty of uttering articulate sounds or words, the ability to speak or to use vocalizations to communicate. A session of speaking, a long oral message given publicly, usually by one person.
Class, what does the video shows? Good, it's all about types of speech style. People communicate in many ways. No one speaks the same language and they shouldn't either. If you've paid attention to other people's speeches, you've noticed that the context is different for each speaker. These variations are not random. In line with this, Martin Jooss, a well-known German linguist and a professor, first organized his speeches according to their variations and developed 5 speech styles based on that format. We will deal with them one by one, but then let us know what speech style is. Can someone please read? Thank you. According to Martin Jooss, this speech style mainly refers to the style or to the level of formality we use in speech when communicating. With that, it is also helping us to express our purpose and it enables us to choose appropriate style that is necessary for us to apply in such situation. Also, as mentioned earlier, there are different types of a speech style. Do you have any idea of what are those? I have a video presentation in here and I want you to analyze it well and watch attentively.
using Powtoon.
Alright, let me now discuss the speech style so you can further understand its importance. Let us first have the first one, which is the frozen speech style. Please read its definition. Thank you. Mainly, this speech style is distinguished by the use of grammar and vocabulary specific to the field in which the speaker is placed. This language style has a very formal and static language, which makes it one of the best forms of language style. This is typically done in a format in which the speaker speaks and the audience listens without any opportunity to respond. Generally, this is reserved for formal ceremonies such as royal palace ceremonies and ceremonies attended by the president of the country, weddings, and funerals. A few examples also include the president's speech, the national anthem, and the school confession. Do you get it, class? Who can give their own examples? Yes, please? That's correct. Pledges is another example of frozen style. Now, class, do you understand the idea under the speech style? Good. Now, let's proceed to the second one, which is the formal speech style. Can somebody please read? Yes, please? Thank you. So, this style, like the previous style, is consensual and documented, as it features a formal vocabulary and word selection, but does not require any discipline of expertise and is not as rigorous as the frozen style. It's more universal. This speech avoids the use of slang, abbreviations, ovals, and modifier, modal adverbs, and uses words of respect. Speakers often have to plan a sentence before speaking. These are commonly used in writing but also applies especially to speaking in medium to large groups. It is also the type of language that is used when communicating with strangers and other single listeners, such as the elderly professionals, or the authorities. So examples are meetings or the corporate or other formal meetings, the court classes, interviews, speeches, and presentations are just a few examples for that speech style. Who can give another example for the formal speech style? Correct. A sona delivered by the president is an example of a formal speech style. Do you understand clearly what this type of speech style is? Great. So we can now proceed to the next one. Consultative speech style. Please read the definition. Thank you. This is the third level of communication with semi-formal vocabulary, often unplanned and dependent on listeners' response and overall participation. So all sorts of two-way communication dialogue between two or more people with no intimacy or acquaintance. Example of this include group discussions, teacher-student communication, expert-student communication, colleague-to-colleague communication, employer or employee communication, and stranger conversations. Now, who would like to give an example? Yes, please? Good. That is correct. As we communicate with a doctor, then it obviously shows a consultative speech style. Do you get it, class? Good. Let us have another type, which is casual speech style. Would like to read the definition? Yes, please? This style is characterized by its disorder with a flexible and informal vocabulary that may include slang. It is usually unplanned, relaxed, dependent on the flow of traffic between stakeholders, and has no specific order. These are used in group or individual situations between people who have a relatively close relationship with intimacy. Examples include chatting with friends and families, and occasional phone calls and text messages. Who would like to give another example? Yes, correct. It also belongs to the casual speech style. Do you get it, class? Great. Now, we have the last type of a speech style, which is the intimate speech style. Please read its definition. Yes, please. Thank you. This is the kind of language reserved for people with whom you have a very close relationship. It goes beyond words by including informal, relaxed, slang, nonverbal communication, and even personal language codes such as pet names and expressions, meaning to say only the participants can understand. These are used among people with close relationships. So, chat between best friends, boyfriends and girlfriends, siblings, and other family members are examples, either via message or phone or directly. Who would like to give another example? Yes, please. Yes, it is. Is that clear, class? Good. For you to be able to understand it more, we're going to have an activity. Are you ready, class? Good. Now, here's the instruction. I have here the keychain, and what you are going to do is to pass it to the one next to you. I will play the music, and once the music stops, the one who's holding this keychain will be the one to answer and identify what speech style is being presented on the video. So this shall be done until all the provided videos are correctly identified according to speech style. Is that clear, class? Great. Let's now start. Alright, class. Very good. You are doing great, and it seems that you fully understand today's discussion. Give yourselves a hand. Do you enjoy the activity? Do you understand well? Can you now clearly distinguish the types of speech styles? Very good, everyone. Again, class, the speech style determines or shows the level of formality as we communicate with one another. There are 5 types of a speech style. The first one is the frozen speech style, which is considered as the most formal communicative style. Words being used are concise and carefully chosen. Secondly, we have the formal speech style, which is considered as a straightforward speech, and often it does not encourage the participation of listeners, or there are less interaction between the speaker and the listener. Thirdly, we have the casual speech style. Mainly, it is characterized by slang meanings or expressions. We also have the consultative speech style, wherein it used a semi-formal communication. It involves communications, but it does not necessarily require the involvement. And lastly, we have the intimate speech style. In this style, communicators can understand one another even with a simple non-verbal gesture or behavior. Now, class, the question is, what do you think is the essence of learning these speech styles on enhancement of our writing and speaking skills? would like to share their ideas? Yes. Yes. Thank you for those who answered. Always remember that by learning these speech styles, it will enable us to come up with an effective communication. It is crucial to learn those different speech styles because it helps convey the message of the speech effectively. A person's reaction to what we say depends on how we speak. Using a particular style can better convey our ideas. Therefore, it enhances our speaking skills. On the other side, those style guides us on choosing language to use as we write speeches. We are able to improve our writing skills, for we are aware on the styles we are using. And so, you must always remember when to apply those speech styles. Do you get it, class? Great. At this juncture, let's see if you really understand our topic today. This time, I will group you into 5. What you are going to do is to write a speech or conversation or a scenario showing the different speech style, and after writing your speech, you are going to deliver it in front of the class. Make sure that the speech or scenario you are going to write is accurate to the speech style you are trying to portray. You got it? Alright, so Group 1 will be dealing with a formal speech style. Group 2 will be dealing with a casual speech style. Group 3 will be dealing with a frozen speech style. Group 4 will be dealing with an intimate speech style. And Group 5 will be dealing with a consultative speech style. You get it, class? Great. Make sure that everyone will have an equal roles on this. The speech or scenario that you will write will be passed afterwards, and you will be given 3 minutes for writing and then another 3 minutes for the performance. You can now proceed on doing your task. Alright, you can now start your performance task. Very good, everyone! You have all shown the correct application of the different speech style. So please pass the speech or the scenario you have written. Okay, thank you. Now, for your agreement, I want you to make a 2 to 4 panel comic strip showing one of the speech style. It should display the different features of a particular style. So the criteria will be 15 points for the grammar and organization, and another 15 points for the appropriateness of a speech style being used. So, to end our class, let us have our closing prayer. Everyone, please stand up. Class, that would be all for today. Thank you for your participation. I hope that you'd learn a lot about our topic. Be sure to do your assignment. Goodbye, class, and see you on our next meeting. Thank you and happy learning.